Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Center Lane, the political discussion for the silent majority, which is we're trying to make some more noise now. My name's John. Thanks for joining. Got a little outdoor session today. Just sitting there thinking about the debate last night. Wow, that was a wild show, huh? I mean, that was interesting in a lot of different degrees. First off, I mean, 8 people on the same stage. That's tough because it did go off the rails a few times. There are people talking over each other. It's kind of to be expected. Plus the hosts there, did the best they could to reel these people in, but they didn't get them reeled in. Not to mention having that big live studio audience. What was there, 4,000 people there? That's insanity. It's too many people. So you're going to get between the crowd and talking over each other. It was kind of a cluster. But on the other end of the spectrum, I just want to kind of go through what I thought of each candidate's performance real quick. Asa Hutchinson, I'll go left to right. Left to right. Hutchinson, you know what? He seems like a pretty good dude, and I think he's smart, and he might even make a decent president, but he doesn't inspire, and that's going to be really hard for him to break through. So I think he had an okay night. Didn't say nothing wrong, but they didn't give him a lot of chance to talk either. Next him, I believe, was Christie. Christie did Christie, you know what I mean? He jumped down Trump. He stated his case. He took a lot of heat for it. I admire him for all that. The only thing I would say about him is he's turning into kind of a one-trick pony. Okay, I get it. You don't like Trump and he shouldn't be president. I agree with that. But, what are you going to do what are you going to do? I know you say you're a consensus builder, et cetera, but I think he has to start making his case for himself, too, if he can get a word in edgewise on that. So we'll see how that one goes. I believe next to him was Mike Pence. Mike Pence, wow. Let me say something. I got to tell you, dude, you did all right last night. I wouldn't vote for you because you're just too hardcore conservative. But you seem like the adult in the room. You were feisty, which I like to see. You made some good points. I would just say, I know you're trying to go for the religious conservatives in in Iowa. But, sometimes that message falls flat on a general election audience. You got to kind of back off a little bit because people do get concerned about especially people in the middle, get concerned about church and state. You don't want to, religion's fine. Everybody has, is free to worship and all that, but you got to be careful when you start mixing that in with, with policy. So I think that was one thing I would say as a criticism for him. But overall, good job for Pence, man. He showed up, and I'll tell you what he did. What I thought was great was he sparred with Vivek. Now, Vivek, dude, you got to turn it down a notch. I mean, I get it. You're the young guy full of energy, but you, first off, come across to me. Sorry, folks. You come across to me as very, very arrogant and full of yourself and condescending. And you got to be real careful. I'll get to this in a second, but you got to be careful how you talk to women too. I've seen a couple interviews, and now last night, I'll get to that in a moment. You're not coming off, enlightened. You're just not. So anyways, Mike Pence, good job. DeSantis, I don't like him. You guys already know that if you've been listening to any of my podcasts. I'm a Floridian. You know what? I've got issues here with him that go beyond the national scope. In the state alone, I'm not going to go into full detail, but taking that all aside, they didn't go after him, which I found was interesting. But I think it was kind of smart in a way because by not going after him, he didn't get any moments to shine. Now, he didn't really step on himself. He sounded like one of his commercials. Oh, we're going to shoot him cold dead at the border, which that in itself is scary. I'm going to talk about immigration in my next podcast because that's just a scary thing to say. You got to go through a judge and jury first. You just don't go shoot people. And by the way, just so get ahead of myself, but 90% of the fentanyl people that are caught are U.S. citizens. So you're going to shoot them cold dead, whether they're criminals or not. That's not going to fly, bud. Anyways, I felt that he was a pretty stiff old self. I don't think he gained any new voters. He didn't hurt himself. He didn't help himself. That's the way I'd put it. Next to him was Nikki Haley. Wow. She, to me, was the winner last night. She was really good. And, she's getting some of that center lane talk that we're all kind of looking for, I think. Consensus, showing rationality, putting Vivek in his place big time, man. She shut him down. He finally shut up after she got on him. So for Nikki Haley, embracing climate change, talking about, the reality of what abortion is going to look like in the future and what the majority of people can agree on, things of that nature. Her experience on the world stage with a lot of things going on overseas and stuff, and these different wars. Her stance on Ukraine, Vivek's stance on Ukraine is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you're just going to leave them there? Look, nobody likes war, but nobody likes war when our soldiers are even worse. Second, we're weakening Putin by the day by supporting Ukraine. He's getting weaker, and that's good for the world. So, to say you're just going to pull out and put all the troops on the border, of our border and stuff, it's just fantasy land, ridiculous. What it is, it's these keyboard warriors from the right, hardcore young ones. There's about 5% of the Republicans, and he appeals to them. Oh, he's our guy. But anyway, she put him in his place. I thought she did a great job. What's left? The guy from Tim Scott. I'm sorry, I almost forgot about him because honestly, he didn't make an impression on me. First off, he's kind of like me. He's losing his voice half the time. He's probably been campaigning a lot, and that hurts your voice. But I heard him last night because his voice didn't come across as powerful or strong. He sounded like he was struggling just to speak, and that hurt him. And again, he has a decent backstory and stuff. And if you get him one-on-one in an interview, he comes across pretty well. But he didn't shine last night. And the last but not least was the guy from Nebraska, Doug Burgum. I don't remember his name, sorry. Again, he seemed nervous as hell. I was kind of surprised too, because he seemed like a guy, I've seen him in other interviews where he comes across pretty confident, but last night he had that deer in the headlights look, so didn't think that helped him a lot as far as going forward. As a matter of fact, I believe the next debate is next month, and there's a higher threshold to get in. I would be surprised to see Hutchinson and Burgum, however he says his name, getting in. I don't think he's going to be there. Bottom line, what's going to happen? Is Trump going to lose any sleep over last night's debate? No, because today he's going to grab all the headlines with his arrest. So he's smart. He's smart to do that. Do it Thursday morning. Go in there and turn yourself in. Whatever heat came from last night or buzz, can get gobbled up in the news cycle real quick. So, going forward, there should be less people on the stage next time. Excuse me. So maybe we'll get a little more clarity on where they stand on things. But in a nutshell, for me, the two people that did the best job really was Nikki Haley. Well, a surprise to me. These people both surprised me. Haley, I think she did the best. And I think Mike Pence actually did quite well for himself. So congratulations to those two. The other ones, you're a mixed bag, to be sure. And we'll see where it takes us next. But anyways, thanks for listening. Gonna enjoy this beautiful day out here in Florida. We just had a nice storm come through, East Coast. All right, you guys have a great day.